So, for our first topic today, Trent top two. So this week, Trent McDuffie, he was ranked as the number two best cornerback by Pro Football Focus. With the departure of L'Jarius Sneed and his first team All Pro nomination, will Trent showcase himself as the number one quarterback on the team this year? And will he fulfill his PFF ranking? So Lonnie, let's go ahead and start with you first.
Yeah, so I think he will have the opportunity to definitely showcase his talents as a number one corner this year on the team. However, I'm not sure if what that looks like. Being that Trenton is going to be playing at different positions. He's a person that played a lot primarily in the slot, but now I think he's going to be playing outside as well. Being that L'Jarius Sneed is no longer there, so I think this is a nomination that he has a chance to wear on his sleeve and go out there and prove. I mean, he's been an All-Pro both years that he's been in the league. I mean, his reputation, I think, precedes itself as far as who he is as a corner. So I think this is the year for Trent McDuffie to go be the number one corner for the Chiefs. I don't know if they match him up like they did L'Jarius Sneed, being that he was primarily a slot guy and he wasn't following guys as number one corner. I mean, number one wide receiver. However, wide receivers do tend to move around these days, would be in the slot all over to the likes of Tyreek Hill. But I think Trent McDuffie will do fine. He played on the outside too early on when he first got here in Kansas City. So I don't think there'll be any problem with him if he has to match up with number one corners. But I think this just says a lot about the cornerback and the player himself. This is a man that has lived up to the billing since he's came into the NFL. This is a testament to really Trent McDuffie's work ethic. He's exceeded expectations at this point. Two-time Super Bowl champion, a guy that they traded up to get. So it's something that I really love to see it. And it's going to be, I think, a sight to behold with what he's going to put on for this year for the world to see. So I think he has a chance to live up and fulfill this nomination for sure.
I'm kind of in the middle of the two stances here because I think that from what we've seen so far, Trent McDuffie certainly has the talent, and already having gotten that All-Pro nomination last season with his full actual season of tape with a full game, 17-game season. It's good to see him kind of thrust into this role of being the Chiefs' number one corner and kind of take the spotlight and the setbacks that could occur from that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the guy who ranked ahead of Trent McDuffie is Sauce Gardner, and I think we all know him mostly as a boundary type corner and only plays on the outside. So while the NFL may be in the last 5 to 10 years or so showing that a slot cornerback is important and that they value that as highly as they do the man-to-man type corners, it still is not showing that ranking-wise. And I think for Trent McDuffie, the best thing for his career was having L'Jarius Sneed last season. And I think for the rest of his career going forward, it's having those good, still boundary-type cornerbacks who will take up the space on the outside. Maybe there's one or two that are good enough to follow a receiver. But I think this team, and more particularly Trent McDuffie, is the best player possible when he is allowed to play in that slot position. And that says good things about Trent, but it may not when it comes to his bank account or in NFL accolades. And like I said, it's good that L'Jarius Sneed was around last season, so it was a chance for Trent to stay within that slot role, and clearly the NFL valued that enough that him being in the slot, he still made an All-Pro. But if you had said a scenario like that 10 to 20 years ago, I don't think that would have ever occurred in the NFL. So we'll see if he is just that type of game-breaking cornerback where his value in the slot is so valuable, and the NFL changing to how it is now and always playing in nickel sets and being pass first most of the time. We'll see if that third cornerback that's always like the backups on other teams back in the day is now, the guy who's being asked to be the number one cornerback on the team, and for the Super Bowl winning teams nonetheless.
Well, y'all know how I feel about Trent McDuffie. I have boasted about him, honestly, ever since he came in as a rookie. Now I know he missed like the first 6 games in his rookie year. However, when he came back, he showcased why he was the guy that we went after. That we went after in the first round. And actually before George Karlaftis too with that first pick, because we did have 2 picks in that first round. But just his skill set and the way that he is able to play that slot corner position, it just has been phenomenal. And a lot of times people think that, hey, when you're playing in the slot, you're either playing against like the third or fourth wide receiver. That's not the case in the NFL no more. Lonnie, you said it earlier, that you're matching up against guys like Tyreek Hill, who's moving all around that offense and just going in and motioning in and out. So I think just being able to, keep up with those particular players and then showcasing that you can lock down one of the best wide receivers in the game as well too. He showed that he will be the guy coming into this next season. So I'm excited for what we have going on. Clinton, you made some great points about having some great boundary guys as well too, because we do like length on the outside, which L'Jarius Sneed had the physical capability of doing. So we will see if guys like Jalen Watson, who stepped up in his rookie year when we had Trent McDuffie out, had some big games and played some big roles as well too, getting an interception against the Los Angeles Chargers, taking it back for 6, which actually pushed us forward to be able to win that game. So he showed that he's able to step up on the outside. Then you also have Joshua Williams that we're hoping that's going to take this next big leap. And if he can do that, then wow, we're great. We're great all around the board. And then we have a young guy who missed the entire season, but last camp was very phenomenal in Najee Johnson. And as of now, it looks like he's still doing good. So we just hope that he stays healthy. But honestly, Trent McDuffie, he's set up to be someone who can honestly go one up to the ranking that he has right now with PFF to number 1 if he does the same as what he did last year. But Trent, we got to add some interceptions on there, because that's what they want to see. You're great with the forced fumbles. You're great. You're a great tackler. When to attack at the point of attack, you have all of that. What we got to do now, when you have the opportunity, get those interceptions. You don't have to take it back for 6, but just go ahead, make the play on the ball, and then that's just going to add more to the bucket of what you already possess. So, Trent, I know you can do it. We have all the faith in you. This is your year, and this is your time to showcase why you might be the next guy who reset the cornerback market in the future. So, any other thoughts before we go ahead and move on to our next topic?
And I just wanted to give a hot take on that, period. I think that Sauce Gardner is winning that race because of name. Nobody swung the turnover differential. And this is just something that we can all three debate on. This is like just off topic. I know we're going off kilter a little bit, but nobody swung the turnover differential like Trent McDuffie. Like, dude, Let's talk about it. Like the forced fumbles. Like, I don't think no cornerback had even nowhere near as many forced fumbles as Trent McDuffie had. Like, I mean, it was ridiculous. So I think the number 1 ranking is for name because he was getting turnovers. He just didn't do it in the conventional corner way. He was doing it like a linebacker. I agree.
I mean, I agree, but it's not like Sauce. If you wanted to make a debate, he would be considered the number 1 cornerback. I wouldn't lie. Like, I don't think we would debate as much just because we know his skill set. But something that you like to go off a lot as well too, Lonnie, you weren't on a winning team. What did your play really do for the team? Did it really were you able to overcome and go ahead and step into the playoffs and fight to go for that Lombardi? Now, I understand that Aaron Rodgers was out, but I would say for the Kansas City Chiefs, and we didn't lose Patrick Mahomes for a whole season, and I'm going to knock on wood right now, we had guys like Chad Henne. We had guys like Matt Moore at times to where at least they were able to step up, but the entire team, they know that we were missing our best position, which is quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, and they came together. Now the defense did step up and they made a lot of plays. And like when we go by points per game, the Jets were solid. But sometimes when it comes to where you lose your best quarterback, offense not doing as much, they're going to ask for a little bit more. So I get that. That's why I can't make that debate how I want. But Trent McDuffie being in the top 3, I'm definitely satisfied with it. I'm okay with it. So, Clean, anything you want to add on before we go?
No, all good here.
All right.